Alright, hello everyone, it's Silver Kyle here, and today I'll be going over my first impressions of Grand Theft Auto 5. One word, amazing. I am having so much fun with this game. I love this game to bits. I can't even express how happy I am that my expectations, which were sky high, this was my most anticipated game of the year, by far. I was salivating at the mouth as soon as they announced it, a few years ago, and even after beating Grand Theft Auto 4, I couldn't wait to get the next installment of Grand Theft Auto 5, and Rockstar did not disappoint. This is exactly the game that I wanted Grand Theft Auto 5 to be. I haven't beaten it yet. I'm about 12 to 14 hours in, and that's not straight missions either. I have been goofing off a lot because that's one of the appeals of Grand Theft Auto, and it's beautiful. I will say though that at the beginning, after you beat the first mission, it goes to the intro of Grand Theft Auto 5, and during that time there were some texture issues, like the buildings were really blurry, like, all the detail was very blurry, and then it would start rendering right in front of me as I'm watching it, and then it would fix itself, and then it would go to a next shot, another part of the world in Grand Theft Auto 5, and then it would do the same thing. It was really blurry, and then it would all of a sudden, boom, it's like fixed, and it's like, this is kind of messed up. But afterwards, it started to, sort itself out, and everything started becoming, a lot smoother and seamless. So it's as if the game was loading itself still, just at the intro, which is a little bit unfortunate because it's your first, view of the world of Grand Theft Auto 5, so you're all excited. But it's kind of messed up. But then afterwards, I have no complaints. Everything was, spot on, and it's a beautiful world, and it's gigantic. It is the amount of detail in this game. Insane. Just looking at it, and that's one of the best things that I'm enjoying about this game is the sightseeing. You're walking around in the city, and you look at the skyscrapers, and you look at how much detail has been put into this. The further skyscrapers look as if they're really far, as if you were in downtown in a huge city, and you were looking far away, and then they're off in the distance, and then up close, everything, there's so much more detail, and all the people that are around you, and they all have different conversations, much more than they did in Grand Theft Auto 4. Grand Theft Auto 4, introduced that where they would say different things, but you can follow people, and they'll be talking on their cell phones, and they'll be having complete conversations, or you can just go up to a group of people that are having a conversation, which you can do in Grand Theft Auto 4, but much more expanded in Grand Theft Auto 5, which is to be expected. I will say though, speaking of Grand Theft Auto 4, the first few hours, I wasn't, freaking out. I wasn't freaking out as I am now about the game. I was just like, this kind of feels like Grand Theft Auto 4. The upgraded graphics and a few extra goodies, but kind of feels like Grand Theft Auto 4, which isn't a bad thing, but I was expecting a lot more. Then, after the few hours started to go by, and you started to have an extra character that you could play as, and you can swap between the two, then I was having a lot of fun. I just unlocked the third character, so there's up to 3 characters that you can, switch around with. He hasn't joined the first 2. I just beat the last mission I beat was the flying one, where you're as the third character and you're flying. So if you're further in the game, you know what I'm talking about. And but the first 2 characters, when you would swap between them, the cool thing is I did not think I would like swapping from one character to another. I thought that was a horrible idea. Not a horrible idea, but I was just like, I'm not too hot on that idea. Doesn't sound like the funnest, but I'm enjoying it. It's cool to play one character, do a few missions on their side of the storyline, and then swap to another character, see what they're up to. One of the characters, the guy who's like rich and he's kind of retired, who's kind of seems like, well, he's not the main character. He's the first character that you play as though, and he's kind of like a retired criminal, and he's coming out of retirement. He's just not doing anything with his life, and it's, the comedy in Grand Theft Auto 4 a lot of people didn't exactly like because it was so dark and serious. This has a much more lighter tone. It's not to the extent like of the original, PS2 classics like Vice City, Grand Theft Auto 3, San Andreas. It's not that kind of humor, but it's a lot closer than it was in Grand Theft Auto 4. And his son does nothing with his life. His wife is cheating on him. His daughter is like possibly in porn. And he's just like having, not exactly a meltdown, but he just doesn't want to deal with anything. And all he wants to do is like watch TV, eat chips, and go to the ocean. He has a yacht, and he doesn't even like go on the yacht. He just likes to look at it. And he's just like, he's so interesting and like mundane. It's a very weird blend. of his character. But you will be playing as one character. I think his name is Franklin. I think is the second character. You'll be playing with him, and then all of a sudden you finish the mission, or you want to see what the other character's up to. So you just you select him, and boom, you drop out of the sky, and you go into the other character. It's not very fast, but it's fast enough. And then all of a sudden he's doing something, and you're kind of watching him what he's doing. He's like, oh man, that ocean, I could just watch it forever. And then he gets up, and he's in like, a Hawaii shirt, undone with glasses on. It was just like, I love this character. The other character, the third character, he's a hillbilly, and he's different. Oh my goodness. I could see him being like some people's favorite character by far, just because I know that he's going to be crazy. And he is. He's a very, he's crazy, and he could mess you up. And he doesn't take crap from anyone. And he's not afraid of anything. So they're all very different, and the other guy, Franklin, he's kind of like starting out. He's not really a high up criminal. So it's cool to see all the different levels of all these characters and how they're gonna all integrate in the end. Because the third character, he hasn't caught up with the first two, but the first two, I'm enjoying their relationship because they're working together. The older, kind of retired criminal helping out the new criminal, and during missions you can do a mission with one of them, complete on their side, and then you can do missions together, and you switch back and forth, and that's really cool because the action doesn't stop. One of my favorite parts of this game by far is the heist, the first heist that you do. You get to choose how you plan out this heist. If you're going to go in, silent and smart, or if you're going to go in like dumb and loud and just make a bunch of noise and scare the crap out of people. And then you have after that, and then afterwards, once you've chosen which plan you want to do, and they kind of lay it all out and they explain which ones would be the best suited, and you can choose. And then once you've chosen which one you want to do, you have to select your crew. So you have to select like a hacker, driver, and like a crowd control person. And then through those people, through that crew, you have to choose if you want to go with a guy who's really good at their job or a girl that's really good at their job, or you can pick somebody that's not as good but they get a smaller cut. So if you can go with like a cheap crew, but they're not going to be very good, or you could go with a more expensive crew and they're going to do a fantastic job, but you won't have as much, you won't get as much money. And you can mix and match, so you can have like a really strong hacker, a weak driver, strong crowd control person. So it just, I don't know, I like that. And the heist was just a blast, and they say that your crew gets better as they work more together as the game progresses. So I know that there's going to be bigger heists later on in the future. I'm at the very beginning, basically, in terms of missions. I've just been, having a good time looking at how big this world is and immersing myself in it. And, I'm trying out all the little mini games like the golfing, the tennis, the hunting. It's such a big world. There's a lot of stuff to do in the city. And then the other section, which is just all wilderness, and it's so different. You'll be looking at how well structured the buildings are, and then you'll go into the wilderness, and you'll just go on top of a mountain, and you'll look at the scenery and the colors of this game and how nice the sky looks. It's really a beautiful game in terms of the art that's put into this game in certain areas. You just feel good when you look at the amount of detail that are in the skyscrapers, the amount of time that they put into making this look like a real city, and then also the time that they put into the wilderness and the beauty of nature in a way. It's really weird to be saying that about a Grand Theft Auto game, but that's what it is. And I'm just loving this game. I've pretty much gone over the main themes that I want to talk about. And I cannot wait to beat this game, and then afterwards just kind of play around and see what else that the game has to offer, because it seems as though there's just so much to do. So anyway, let me know in the comments below if you've picked up Grand Theft Auto 5, what your thoughts are on it, and if you're enjoying it. So you've been Bearded In. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Beard Edge!